Welcome back to Brashonomics. And, if you're a landlord, you got to be careful that people aren't trying to scam you out of your, well, I guess not out of your property, but at least out of living and paying the rent to live in your property. And if you want to protect yourself, as Paul Pukis' book is titled, Protect Yourself, then there are other common scams and frauds you really do need to look out for. Paul Pukis joins us. He's a speaker and co-author with Amy Drewell of Protect Yourself. He was also a top 10 finalist in the 2010 What's Working contest. Hello, Paul. It's good to see you again.
Thank you very much. Happy to be back.
Yeah, happy to have you. And so you see, it almost seems like you see a scam just about every single day on TV.
Well, folks are creating new ones all the time. Economy will do that.
And so you really, the way I always look at it is trying to avoid sending money to Nigeria in the hopes of getting $25 million back. I've managed to avoid that one.
That's actually in the book.
Is
the 419 fraud. It's a Nigerian legislature actually has a law in the books about that type of fraud. And it's not just to pick on Nigeria. It does come out of different African countries, but typically that's where it's from.
And people do. They send money. I've seen like a dateline on it, and they track these people down. It's pretty incredible. What are some other big scams or frauds people really need to be looking out for?
Well, there's one that I wanted to talk about specifically because it is football season. Maybe we'll hold the audience in suspense for a little bit until we get to that one. But also with school back in, you do get people that knock on your door. And as much as we are, by far, this is my time in the military as well, a country that gives as much as we do, we really want to help people that come and seem to be in need. And if you get some folks that are selling something that go door to door, it may not always be legit. And there are definitely certain things to be questioning about that. To make sure that you're protected, magazine sales or candy sales. Or
I bought candy the other day from a kid.
Yeah. Well, if it's candy and you're getting that, it's like going to the store. You're buying it.
It was like $8
for something that would have been 79 cents or whatever.
I think, yeah.
So
I got scammed.
Who knows? You may have fallen. But that's one. The other one that we're seeing more common as baby boomers continue to enter. You've got a lot of folks calling, asking for grandma and grandpa to send them some money, and they're actually calling on the phone, picking pretty common names or doing some research. Hey, this is your nephew, Billy or Bobby or Timmy or Dave or John. I need you to send me some money. And that one is actually increasing in popularity, where I've had a couple clients call and talk to me about that. And from the insurance perspective, I only bring it up because it's things for people to avoid, but there's nothing from an insurance perspective that we can really help cover that. Identity fraud is about it.
So people send money to fake nieces and nephews. Don't they typically know what their voice sounds like before they just pick up their checkbook? They can't be that close. It can't be like, hey, we do family dinner with them every week.
No, it's definitely not folks like that. But before my grandparents passed away, I'm pretty sure that I could have said a lot of things and they would not have remembered at that point. And most folks have a giving heart.
Yeah.
So that's just one thing for everyone to be conscious of, but more importantly, some of our elder listeners.
What are some other big scams or frauds?
Well, you've got the identity theft is probably the most the growing concern, and I know more about that because that's something that we can protect against from insurance, because you can buy identity theft protection. Some companies actually include it in a home policy at no additional charge because it is so important. There are companies out there that provide very proactive identity theft protection, which is where you get monthly updates, monitoring, that type of thing. From the insurance side of thing, it's typically less expensive, but it's normally more reactive. It's how do we help you get it back if it's gone? But traditionally, that's the nature of insurance, is we put you back in the place you were after something happened. It's not as proactive.
You're not the fire.
Trying to stop. Well,
I know you, Paul. I could see you showing up with a hose.
I'd have a bucket there and try and help.
We are here with Paul Pukis, Capital Asset Protection Advisor with Mosaic Insurance Alliance. Paul, so you look at these scams or these frauds and people trying to take advantage of people. Every day. What are some, a lot of people, a lot of these target the elderly, or they kind of play on your heart with animals or kids, showing up at your door. What are some that even maybe the most skeptical person could get scammed by?
Yeah, and I think that actually is a good lead into the story, and I can start that now. It actually happened to a good friend of mine, a Seahawks fan, traveled back to Chicago last year for the game, and they were all in their Seahawks gear, and they got there. There were 4 of them. Two of my buddies went and bought the tickets from the ticket stand from the stadium, and the other 2 were like, you know what, we're going to go online and find some better seats. They went, they paid $300 for good seats, went and met the lady, went there, had them scan their ticket, and the turnstile didn't move. It was a fraudulent ticket stub. So people are out there, so he spent $300 or $600 because he bought 2 tickets to get good seats, went back and had to buy tickets again, and now he was up in the nosebleeds, in the nosebleed section, wearing a Seahawks gear, surrounded by Chicago fans, and he just said it was, besides losing $600, it just wasn't a very enjoyable game. So that stuff happens all the time. People are out there selling fake tickets. So that's people that it's not kids, it's not elderly, it's your sports fan that is trying to do a good thing, get a good seat, but can't get into the game.
It's kind of, it goes back to, again, I think, that the ability to find somebody reputable to work with, though, because there are reputable sports ticket people, or you can go on like StubHub. I mean,
Yeah.
It's, again, there's ways to protect yourself, as you say, and half of it just seems like it's knowing some of these scams are out there, so that you don't.
Well, and the other scams are the financial ones. We all hear about those. People promising higher rates of return than seem logically possible. And I think the old adage, you get what you pay for, sometimes is very important. And in the case of my friend getting the tickets, it wasn't a great deal, but it was good money. But that other person just walked away with $600 free and clear. That's a pretty good return on investment.
Yeah.
However much it cost to print out those tickets, whether they got them.
And you always wonder how that happens, because you can print the tickets like multiple times. They email you the PDF.
Right.
Probably 25 other people sitting there with the same ticket trying to get in. Is there still things going on with ATMs and gas pumps and things of that nature?
Yeah, with new technology, you have some stuff that folks can, I should preface that bad folks can go and put some technology on an ATM machine or on a gas pump, and when you swipe your credit card or insert your credit card, it actually sends that information to the bad guy. I, luckily enough, not had that happen to me. I know that other people have, and their card starts getting used in a different country or different state. They'd probably like to be there using their credit card, but they're not. So something wrong's going on. People aren't really sure how to track that down and notice those things yet. I think you just need to go to a reputable place to fill up your car, or ATMs that continue to work for you. Use ones that have been productive and successful in the past. Yeah,
well, Paul, thanks so much for joining us. Again, Paul Pukis, Capital Asset Protection Advisor and the author of Protect Yourself. When we come back, we're going to continue some conversations with Jeff Erdman, Paul Pukis, myself, and Heather Moore.